All right, what's going on? Welcome to the channel. We are going to be doing something a little bit differently today. We are going to be doing a Q&A. I have right around 12 questions that came in via Instagram that we posted. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and start ripping through some of these answers. First question was a really good one, actually. How do you balance building a business, marriage, kids, and a social life? Bold of you to assume that I have a social life, right? No, I'm kidding. I would say everything has its balance, and so one of the things that I tried really hard last year, which I'm trying to get better at this year, is being present in every state. And so it's always easier said than done, right? When you're with the kids, you're thinking about work. When you're at work, you're thinking about the kids. When you're with the kids or at work, you're thinking about going out. And so when I'm out, I'm out. When I'm with my kids, I'm with my kids. When I'm at work, I'm at work. I think it's disrespectful, not just to ourselves, not just to our calling, but also to the people around us when we're not physically and when we're not physically and emotionally there with them, listening to them, enjoying that moment. One of the things that I'm constantly reminding myself, because my kids are so small. So, I got a 4-year-old at the time of this recording, and I have my boys, they're gonna be 2. And so one of the things that I constantly remind myself of is they're not gonna be this small forever. And so let me enjoy this season with them. And I also bring that with me in business, where it's not always going to be like, if there's parts on it that kind of suck or it's difficult, I think to myself, it's not always going to be this difficult. I'm going to find something else in the next 5-6 months that I'm going to complain about it being difficult, or I'm going to say, this is going to take up all of my time. Like, there's always something that's going to take up our time. And I think just finding that, but being comfortable, I don't even want to say just finding that balance, but being comfortable being off balance in certain seasons. It's just you're juggling multiple things. Sometimes you're wearing the hat of a father, you're wearing the hat of a team leader, you're wearing the hat of a business owner, you're wearing the hat of a colleague, of a friend. And so trying to be the best in every area is crucial. Second question is, what is the biggest business lesson that you learned last year? So the biggest business lesson that I learned last year was you can't do it all on your own, and hiring good talent and bringing good people around you is invaluable. I can't tell you how much just we've grown in our business just by having the right people in place that not just care as much as I do, but they do, if not a better job than I do in that same role that I would train some of these people in. And it's just awesome to see that, right? So we all know the saying where it's good help is hard to find. I agree to that to an extent, but I do think that if you want to be someone that people look up to, if you want to be someone that people team up with, if you want to be someone that, that people want to work for, then you have to build yourself up as well as a person, because you can only lead up to a certain capacity. And so if there's one thing, again, that I've learned is building the people up around me, because as we continue to grow, I can't have my hands in every single department and every single division. But if I have the right people in place, based off of the core values that we've instructed, based off of some of the beliefs that we have, even from some of the content that we put out, I've shamelessly said some of the content that I put out is so that we can continue to attract people that are like-minded to what we believe in. And we've been doing a pretty good job at that, because some of the people that have come and joined forces with us here at the Inside Inner Circle, you guys have been just absolute rock stars. And so if you're out there and if you've been jiving with the content, always be on the lookout. Shameless plug, whenever we're looking to expand in some of the roles that we have. The third question that I got here is, if you can do only 3 workouts for muscle building, what would they be? Squats. So I'm gonna either pick squats or hack squats. I'm gonna kind of cheat. I'm gonna put that as one bucket. I'm gonna pick back rows on the barbells, so no dumbbell, so palms up, and then also supinated. And then for my last workout for muscle building, let me see, we have pulls, we have squats. We'll throw in a press in there. So I'll do maybe some dumbbell presses. So we'll do some press work in there. Again, I think that those are really the only 3 things that you need if you're just trying to build an overall, just more of a bodybuilding physique. Obviously not getting into like the CrossFit side of it. But again, going back into it, squat or hack squat, I'm gonna cheat. Barbell rows, and then I'm going to do dumbbell presses. Number 4, I want to start posting on social media and grow my business. What should I focus on? Good question. You need to focus on like what you're looking to do with it, right? So if you're looking to grow your business, you're going to be tempted to want to post what's flashy, and you're going to be tempted to want to post what's always trending. Now you can find and you can marry having maybe a trending topic or a trending sound, or even maybe just a trend going on, and kind of merge that with your business. But I think that a lot of people get sidetracked with chasing views. And sometimes, I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, man, some of the biggest videos that have had hit, I'm talking about in the millions, brought me this much in terms of revenue, this much in terms of leads, and this much in terms of customers. And then I've also had videos that to the naked eye, you would say, oh, that video was a flop. You know, Irv has on YouTube 100 and let's say 50K subs, whatever. On IG, same thing, 150K sub or 150K followers. That sucks. Like it absolutely flopped. It was like 2K views relative to the size of the channel. And then you'd be surprised because we can see everything on the back end through tracking some of the software that we use. And that was like the rainmaker. And so if you're going to start posting on social media, and if you're doing it with the purpose of creating a business, having it spit cash flow to you, number one is understand that you are playing the long game. So I want to prepare you for that, right? Building a brand takes time because you're building out trust with an audience. And then number two, you want to serve the heck out of your audience. And so start by posting and then pay attention to what people are commenting on there. So let's say if your thing is fitness, as an example, it's not my thing, but if that's your thing and you started posting workouts, you start noticing people asking you, hey, what's your diet been like? Hey, I want to lose 10 pounds. Okay, that may be a follow-up video or response. We may want to do a follow-up video on maybe 10 diet tips. All of a sudden you drop that video, people are asking you, hey, how can I hit that grocery list, based off of that meal that you just broke down without breaking my bank? Bam, congratulations, you now have a second piece of content. And then as you go, this is the other thing, as you go, you're not gonna have everything dialed in, you're not gonna have all the systems in place. So you wanna take it one step at a time. And so as you're posting, you're going to get better. I always say when you post your first piece of content, once you've posted for 365, look back at that first video. You're gonna cringe just like you did when you first posted it. But the good thing is that you're gonna thank yourself because you're gonna start seeing, okay, I'm getting momentum, I'm getting better. So that'd be my 2 cents on posting on social media. Number 5 is dating is hard when you have big dreams. How can I find a supportive spouse? Dating is hard when you have big dreams, but dating is also difficult when you're not clear on your dreams. And so when you're out there and you're on the dating scene, you're not wasting time. You're letting people know, hey, this is what I'm going to go after. This is some of my goals. If somebody thinks you're crazy, fantastic. You had a nice dinner with someone, you're going back to the lab, you're going back to work, right? Now, if somebody thinks you're crazy and they're kind of crazy too, and they say, you know what, that's a crazy idea. I've been having dreams too. I've been having thoughts too of living a different life. I want to escape poverty. I want to build a legacy. I want to break generational curses. Like the only time that I even want people around me to talk about generational curses is not so that they can talk about it like as a crutch. I want, if somebody's talking to me about generational curses, again, side tangent, is if they say, up to this point, everyone in my family has been broke, that stops with me. Because from here on, we are going to build a legacy. We're going to build a dream life. So I know, I just had to get that out. So when you are building that dream life, or if you're looking to find that spouse, communication is everything. And so it may not come up on the first date or second date, but eventually that talk about finances has to come up. And I've noticed maybe as I've gotten older, right? I'm 33 now. As I've gotten older, my tolerance for withholding conversations and maybe waiting to say something, that time has just gone down. So now I'm become way more direct with someone, right? You can say politely, right? That's where some of the soft skills comes into place. But letting them know, hey, I don't want to be in this situation forever. Hey, I don't plan on living in the zip code forever. Hey, I have 2 jobs for now, but this is ultimately what I plan on doing. I plan on becoming the manager at this company. I plan on becoming the CEO at this firm. I plan on building up my own firm. Like whatever that is, that conversation has to happen. Now, it helps if it happens before you get married, because if you start changing traction once you get married, then you have to have your spouse on the same page as you. But again, a lot of this can be overcome with just communication altogether. What do we have here? So that was dating is hard. Next one we have, do you have any fitness goals this year? My fitness goals are pretty simple. Right now, I'm sitting at this morning, 253.8 254 pounds. So I want to see what 225 looks like on this frame. I say the first goal is 235, but I want to see what 235 looks on the frame first. Then we'll drop down to 225. I think we'll probably have a six pack I've had a six pack above 200 pounds, so that's not even a goal at this point. I want to see what 225 will look like. So we'll kind of leave it at that. But then to answer your question, I get it every now and again. Don't know why, because I'm pretty out of shape compared to what I used to look like. I would say that I don't plan on competing anytime soon, because that usually gets asked because people see the gym and they're like, do you compete or do you plan on competing? At the time of this recording, I don't plan on competing. That could change. So somebody's probably gonna timestamp this and say, look, he lied, he's competing now. At the time of this recording, with how crazy my life is, I don't plan on jumping on stage or doing any shows. Next question is number 7. It's what's been the biggest challenge as an entrepreneur? I say the biggest challenge as an entrepreneur has been managing my own expectations, and then also sitting in uncertainty. There's a lot of things that you end up doing as an entrepreneur, where you're launching a new campaign, or you're bringing on a new hire, or you're deploying a new strategy, or you're changing the complete structure of your team, and you just don't know. Hey, like, there is no guarantee in business, right? So you don't know if it's going to pan out. You don't know if the way that you're doing it now is the right way, and you may have to revert back to it, but you just maybe hadn't given it enough time. And so managing your expectations of making your actions the goal rather than what you actually get on the back end. And so I may not necessarily hit our revenue target as a team, like we may not necessarily get there, and I'm gonna be okay with that if we did everything in our plan and everything in our power to get there, right? So as long as we can control what we're doing every single day, are we taking care of clients? Are we making the calls? Are we posting? Are we monitoring our ads? Are we taking care of the leads that are coming in? Are we monitoring maybe our media side? Those are things that we can control. We can't control this video goes out, it gets 2 views, it is what it is, right? We'll go back and see, okay, where can we adjust? Those are always places that you can control. It's made my life a heck of a lot more peaceful when I'm just looking at the things that I know I can turn the switch on, versus things like, all the algorithms out to get me, or, oh, no one wants to spend money, the economy is too bad. Like, those thoughts don't serve you. And so it's better to just get that out of your vocabulary altogether. So that would be the biggest challenge, again, dealing with uncertainty and also controlling what you can control. Number 8 is, you talked about skills in a YouTube video I watched. How do you determine the skills needed in your life? I think that it's like hitting a moving target. And so depending on what you're looking to improve on, that's what I typically like to, let's say, research into. So a couple months back when we first started running ads, I didn't have a media buyer. Now, I want to eventually have a media buyer, but running ads is something that I want to get really good at. So right now you can kind of say I'm kind of sitting in that CMO seat, give or take, right? But that skill translates into every other industry. So if you know how to run ads, if you know how to write effective copy, if you know what metrics to look for, if you know how to create the hooks to get the attention, to get the clicks, to get the client, to get the call, to then get ultimately the conversion and turn those dollars, or turn those ads into dollars on the back end, that's a skill that you take with you, and that skill compounds. And so when you're looking at a skill, again, the reason why I say it's a moving target is because if maybe you're in a place right now where you want to become, maybe you're a heck of a graphic designer, but you want to become better with money management, well, maybe picking up 2 or 3 books on money management and listening to, just load up your week on listening to at least 10 to 20 hours worth of podcast content on money management is going to serve you far better than maybe just learning more about graphic designing, because you have that dialed in. And so you can kind of float that piece for a minute as you figure out this next piece that you're going to connect to the puzzle. So that's the way that I see it. And again, once you figure out the money management, maybe it's the next pillar. And maybe that next pillar is communication. Now it's not just you as a graphic designer. Now you know how to handle your finances, you know how to handle your business finances. Maybe now you have a team that's under you that you're overseeing as well. And so now you're delegating people. Now you're dealing with a whole different sector of a business. So maybe your next 2 or 3 books, maybe your next 10 to 15 hours of content or course that you buy or workshops are going to be on how to manage a team, how to manage expectations as a business owner, and how to manage expectations for the people that are under you and that you're leading. So that's how I would see skills. Next is physical books or audio books. You can't go. I mean, as much as I love being read to, I like physically touching a book, holding a book, highlighting a book. So what I do is I have both, right? Trick answer. I have both. I have my Audible, and so I'll have it read to me, and then I'll just highlight. But if I can only pick one, like if you said, hey, you're on a plane flight, 15 hours, you can only pick one. Me, again, call me old school. I'm picking a book so I can highlight through it. And for me, it's just retention is far better than just listening. Number 10 is, do you have a go-to cheat meal? Go-to cheat meal for me. What do you think it is, bro? Should I just tell them? Burgers. Yeah, it's burgers. Well, you know, this guy knows me. It's burgers. So it's either burgers. I like Shake Shack a lot. We have a local spot called Papi Smash. Shameless plug for Papi Smash. They've been hooking it up. But Shake Shack is still king around here? Shake Shack is still king. Five Guys? Shake Shack. Shake Shack. Shake Shack, and then I still like pizza. We got a couple nice little pizza spots out here, but burgers for me is go-to, like a burger, shake and fries. You can't go wrong, especially after like a nice long day or a nice long lift. Yeah, that's what I go to. Number 11 is I struggle with focus because I get bored easily. How do you stay consistent when you're doing the same stuff every day? Similar to what I said yesterday similar to what I said earlier with your goals is you want to have, you know, with dating is you want to have goals and you want to have dreams that are so big that it kind of forces you to concentrate, right? And it excites you where, you know, if I do this one piece, it's interconnected. It's like a chain link that's connected to this thing. When this is done, this gets done. When this gets done, this gets done. And it goes from just a chore list or, you know, tasks that need to be done to objectives needed in order for you to win. That's how I start to see my daily activities now, where it's not just, oh my God, these are tasks that I have to do. Now it's no, these are objectives and these are keys that we need to nail in order for us to win and win big. I'm a naturally competitive person, so maybe that just naturally comes out of me a little bit more because we grew up playing sports. And so there was something fun about hitting 150 baseball swings every single day, right? But you knew that you're gonna have 3 or 4 at-bats in a game, and so you're either gonna get the golden sombrero or you're gonna go 2 for 4 or 3 for 4, but you weren't gonna be living that down from your team when they were gonna say, you know, on the bus ride home from the game, dude, you struck out 4 times, or dude, you struck out 3 times. What the heck was that? The game was on the line. And so that's how I see this, where people are looking at you. You know, maybe it's just you as a solopreneur, you have to get this thing off the ground. Maybe people are dependent off of you, your family. And so I like to attach a little bit of pain sometimes to what I'm working on. So that way it makes it, you know, beyond me, right? My kids are watching, my wife is watching, my team is dependent on us actually hitting this. And so that to me I like playing when the stakes are high. And then lastly, if you were starting over right now, how would you rebuild? I'm assuming I have no dollars to my name. I'm assuming that I don't have a brand, make it difficult. But I'm assuming that I'm starting all over. So I at least have my skills. I will say this, depending on where you're at, and depending on what you like to do, I'm gonna put that aside because sometimes what you like to do may not necessarily be what you have to do right now in the season if you're looking to survive. So if I'm looking to survive, you wiped everything out and I still have the skills, the first thing that I would do, again, me personally speaking, is I would find an offer online, especially in 2024, you have high ticket offers all over the place. I would find a high ticket offer that I'm at least interested in. So that can be maybe B2B, that can be insurance, that can be a fitness offer if it's more B2C, that can be maybe a business opportunity offer. Just find something, maybe an agency, find something that just gets your attention. Again, I'm speaking from the landscape of selling because I think it's the fastest way to make money and lots of it. And I would start selling for that offer quickly. And I would start turning the cash machine on quickly. And that would be remote selling. Again, no shameless plug to like that industry. I just think selling as a whole, even if you don't want to sell online, just selling as a whole, right? Going out and selling is going to cure any of your poverty-ridden needs that you have. If I've always said it, and I'll say it again, I heard it from a mentor, and I'll repeat it again until the wheels fall off. If you learn how to sell, you'll never worry about going broke ever again. And I'm a strong believer in that. And that goes for anything. You learn how to sell photography packages. You learn how to sell when you're dating. You learn how to sell yourself. when you're recording content, you learn how to sell yourself on camera. It just goes the entire, like from A to Z. And so I like selling. I never liked it before, but when I noticed how much of a difference it would make in people's businesses, when it turned on and they had the right people in those seats, and also what it did for their life personally, it's just been an absolute game changer. So those are the questions that we got. Every now and again, we'll probably do some of this Q&A. It's been pretty cool from some of the responses or some of the answers that, or some of the questions rather, that you guys had asked. So hopefully some of the responses gave you a little bit of clarity on how I think through some of these things. But other than that, appreciate you guys watching. Until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next video.